Thank you to Typhur for the Sync Oven sponsoring today's protein biscuit video. You guys are going to want to stick around for this one. Today we're going to talk about protein biscuits, and I'm going to update the biscuit recipe that I have on the channel, but I don't want to do this alone because biscuits are a family-friendly event, and I'm really excited to introduce you guys to someone really special and important to us. Please welcome, it's my big brother-in-law, Brandon. Brandon, thank you for being here, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, finally.
Yeah. He's been watching the channel for a long time. This is the first time you get to be in a video.
100%. I'm excited.
I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story today as we're putting together these biscuits of why we chose to do a biscuit recipe, and let Brandon tell you a little bit about why it's important to him too. So
absolutely.
It's going to be really good. You ready for this?
I don't know. I got some tissues ready. I got some excitement. It's mixed emotions right now.
Let's dive into some protein biscuits and gravy today on Chris Cookin' Nashville. This is not only a upgraded version of my biscuits, but it's also easier to make. And not only are we doing the biscuits, but I'm really excited to introduce you guys to the Typhur Sync Oven. And I'm going to go through some of the features of it, but you can do this in a regular oven as well. So I'm going to put the link down below if you would like to get one, because they do an amazing job. But even if you don't, you can still do this in your home oven. I'm going to make sure the difference in the instructions are on the recipe card on my website, along with all of the amounts of the ingredients. We'll talk about that Typhur oven in just a minute. I'm going to show Brandon how to do this because we were actually talking and he was like, if you can teach me how to do this, click that memory of biscuits and gravy for me. I will do whatever it takes to learn how to make these. And so I've tried to make this really simple. So I'm going to show you not only how to make the recipe, but I'm going to show you with the oven how to time everything so it all comes out together. So I'm going to set my oven over here on bake 375 degrees. On a large oven, you're looking 400 to 425, depending on your oven. And I'm going to pull out the baking sheet, little ring molds, and we'll throw that in the oven and it will preheat with the oven. This fits 8 of these rings perfectly. This recipe makes 8 biscuits. It's really ideal to be able to use these and do 8 on one baking sheet.
What if you only want 7?
Now, if you want 7, then, you know, I guess you just got to figure out how to make that work for yourself. So these are going to go in the oven. It seals just around that outside slightly, and that way when it bakes, they puff and we get more of the lift because it holds those sides together, which means all of the lift that we're going to get in the oven is going to push upwards instead of out. While that is preheating, we're gonna mix up the biscuit mixture. This is the timing thing. I have cream cheese in a bowl. This is softened so I can easily stir. This is whey protein concentrate. I have butter powder, which is like freeze-dried butter basically. That way we get the butter fat without the moisture. Baking powder. You can use cream of tartar and baking soda and make your own. I will link an aluminum-free baking powder in the description box for you guys. Beef gelatin. Any kind of gelatin, unflavored gelatin will work. I'm just gonna mix them together.
We're not a fan of clumps.
No clumps. We're gonna go ahead and add it into the cream cheese, fold this together until it is just combined, folding it over and just kind of pushing it down. That also helps you get it mixed well. As this starts to come together, it forms sort of a dry looking pasty texture. It's exactly what you're looking for. Mixture combined. Now I've whipped egg whites in so many of my recipes and everyone goes, I don't have a mixer. And you don't really need one, you just need some arm muscles. So we're gonna do it by hand today. We are whipping these to a soft, fluffy foam texture, almost soft peaks. We do not want these to be stiff peaks because they will get too much of a dry texture and then they'll actually collapse when you bake. The trick to whipping egg whites is 1, make sure there is no fat anywhere near this in the bowl, on the whisk, and 2, use the wrist action. And don't be afraid to switch hands. This is how grandmothers and French chefs have done this for hundreds of years, so. And if you do have a mixer or a hand mixer or any of that, feel free to use it. It does make it easier. Wanted to show you it can be done by hand. And this is what we're looking for.
Phenomenal. Unbelievable.
Okay. So it almost holds a peak, but it bends over. Fold these mixtures together. I'm gonna take about 1/3 fairly aggressively into our cream cheese mixture. And what this is gonna do is loosen the mixture. Now we're gonna take the second 2/3 and we're gonna fold this in same way, but we're gonna be more gentle with it. We wanna try to preserve as much of the air as possible. And it is going to deflate it. That's part of what we do. So I kind of cut down the center and fold over the top, cut down the center, fold over the top, scoop around the sides. I'm just very carefully folding it in, trying to keep it as fluffy as I possibly can. See how it's kind of doubled almost in volume?
See it.
And see how it's fluffier? So that means all of those little microscopic air bubbles from the egg white are trapped inside. We need butter.
Don't worry, no air bubbles were hurt in the making of this biscuit.
Frozen butter. We want the pieces to remain intact. When it bakes, it's not only going to spread throughout the mixture and keep it nice and moist and tender, it's also going to create more little air pockets. We're going to carefully fold it in. You want to be able to see distinct pieces of butter in your mixture. I don't want to melt it. I just want to incorporate without deflating the work that we did. And that's it. That is the biscuit mixture. Let me grab the baking sheet and the ring molds and I'll show you how we put these together. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the preheated oven rings out. I'm using bacon grease. You could use butter, you could use lard, you could use tallow, you could use ghee. Very gently brush around each ring. And we wanna fill these up about 2/3 of the way. Perfect for 8 biscuits of this size. Now, as this sits, that gelatin is going to firm up the biscuit mixture. Keeping them as even as possible means they will bake as evenly as possible. This is actually gonna go in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes while we cook the sausage that's gonna go in the gravy. That cool temperature on the outside is going to compress the air bubbles as this chills down. Then when it hits the hot oven, you get what's called oven spring, and it rapidly expands those and it reduces the moisture around each of the bubbles as steam comes out. That actually holds more of that structure in there, which is what's gonna help stay light and fluffy on the inside. I've got my cast iron skillet because what's better than gravy that comes out of a cast iron skillet?
Nothing.
Exactly. You really like your gravy with lots of the meat in it. There's a memory that's really important to you as to why you like your gravy that way.
Yeah, my grandmother on my father's side, Sandra Box, passed away unfortunately last year. Every day we'd go out to her ranch or farm, pick the eggs and everything like that, feed the chickens, feed the pigs, feed the horses, come in so hungry at 7 a.m. and Grandma would be cooking the sausage and she poured on top of the biscuits she made. It would be so thick, it would stay on top of the biscuit. It wouldn't run off the plate like a lot of restaurants. And so the thick, meaty gravy is my memory of just seeing a pile of gravy, if you will. I think this is the definition of soul food. Different cultures call it different things, and I think this goes back to it's soul food.
Well, we are making Brandon's memory to the very best of our abilities while keeping it protein focused and proper human diet approved today. So the sausage is browned. This is where this whole timing thing comes in. So we have the biscuits in the freezer. We cook the sausage. That takes up the time in the freezer. I've still got my oven ready to go. Now I'm going to pull the biscuits out of the freezer. Those go into the oven and they start to bake. While they are baking, I finish the gravy. So the gravy and the biscuits are done roughly at the same time and you can serve everything together and it makes it really simple. These are going to go in 12 to 15 minutes or until they are golden brown and starting to get cooked through. We're going to bake up some biscuits.
When you check them, is it the brownie on top that tick-ticks when it's done?
They should puff. You know that the inside is expanding, which means that temperature has gotten in there and it's loosened up that gelatin. Should be good to go. While the biscuits are baking, we can finish up our gravy. A couple ounces of cream cheese. It just thickens everything down a little bit better without having to cook so much of the water out of the cream. How much cream? However much you like. You need at least enough to fully coat all of the sausage, plus a little bit extra, and then you just cook it down until it is the texture of gravy you like, and then you adjust seasoning, adding salt and pepper once you get the texture you want. The moisture in the cream actually helps pull those flavors out of the black pepper, so you get a nicer, more even black pepper flavor through your gravy that way. We're gonna reduce the cream by roughly half. We can always go more if we need to. I'm also scraping the bottom of the pan because if there's any little bits of sausage that have cooked to the bottom of the pan and browned, that gives you that old country gravy flavor where they use like the pan drippings and the pan scrapings to make gravies. This Typhur oven does an absolutely incredible job too. It has all sorts of different functions on it. So you've got bake and roast and broil and air fry, and not that we do this in the keto and carnivore world, but there's cookies and pizza. It also has the thermometer, so you can cook different meats based on temperature. So I just want to show you guys what's really cool with this Typhur oven. We're going to go ahead and put in some chicken thighs, and what's really great is you can pull the thermometer, this probe thermometer, off the top. It's automatically synced. It brings up all of these other options. I can have all these presets for beef, fish, pork, lamb, and poultry. I can determine the doneness that I want. I can even set the temperature manually. I can start this cooking. I'm going to go ahead and insert this into these chicken thighs. We're going to let this cook according to the poultry preset, which is at 165. All we have to do is put these in and roast them, and they will come out perfectly cooked at 165. It cannot be easier than this. Look at how absolutely incredible these chicken thighs look. Not only does this oven do a great job roasting them, but it cooked them perfectly, and these were tender and juicy and perfect all the way through, and I didn't even have to try to figure out when they were done because the Typhur Sync Oven told me it was time to take them out. And I'm also going to do this with some pork chops because pork gets very dry and very unpleasant if you overcook it slightly. So we're going to use the pork setting. This is set to medium, which is about 145 degrees. That's actually perfect. I like it to be juicy, but I do still want to get this done all the way through. So we're going to start that preheating. This is in the thickest part of this thick pork chop, which should track how well all of them are done. And as soon as they're done, they come out. Look at how incredible these things look. And let me tell you, when I cut them open, they are juicy and perfectly cooked all the way through, exactly where I want them. They're not dry, not in any way overcooked, and the Typhur Sync Oven did all of that for me. All I had to do was put it in and it beeped to tell me they were done. So this is a game changer. If you do not have a lot of confidence in the kitchen, this is a great way to know that you are cooking every single piece of meat perfectly, and you can set it manually to customize your cook. So don't forget the link in the description box to go pick up one of these Typhur ovens if this is something you think would help you in the kitchen. And truthfully, I have used this almost every day since they sent it to me, and whether I'm using the probe thermometer or not, it just does an incredible job. It's going to make you more confident in the kitchen. Definitely go check out Typhur. They have amazing gear, and this is no exception. It is, I think, honestly, really a countertop oven that is the first of its kind.
I just want to remind you my birthday is next month. It's just randomly throwing that in.
That's right.
The video.
All right, the biscuits are done.
Oh boy.
Nice golden brown tops. You can see they puff.
Everything smells amazing.
And we should be able to gently
Look at that.
lift the rings right off. Looks like a
Bless
biscuit
it.
to me.
I'll be the judge of that.
You'll be the judge. We're going to brush melted butter over the top because, I mean, they're biscuits, right? So why would you not have extra butter? A little bit of salt. When you're cooking it down like that, if you salt it too much and then concentrate it, it gets too salty. So you always want to adjust the salt at the end after you're done cooking the gravy down.
The smells are intoxicating. Wow, look at that meaty gravy.
Piling on top and sitting on top of the biscuit, right?
Perfect. Not running off the plate.
There
Love
you
it.
go. Let us know what you think, man.
Oh. I did not anticipate that. I really did think there was going to be some loss of that fluffiness. I don't feel that way at all. The meaty gravy is nostalgic. I feel like I'm getting a big bite of protein, delicious, peppery. Oh my gosh, it's good.
I know for me, biscuits and gravy is one of those things I really wanted to be able to have a good version of it. I remember going to McDonald's of all places with my grandparents, and I would always get biscuits and gravy at breakfast. Every time I have biscuits and gravy of any kind, I'm transported back to being 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and it is some of the best memories of my life. And the fact that I can have that and think about that without compromising my health metabolically, that's the best of both worlds, I think. Well, I would say based on Brandon's reaction, that is a winner of a recipe.
100%. I'm always reluctant to trust people because you think that somebody's already kind of buying into it. This is my first time, honestly, tasting this ever, and I am impressed, as well as living that experience of the childhood all over again.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for bringing it back to me.
Yeah.
Getting a little choked up here. I lost my grandma last year, and it brings it back. And we're building memories now as the next generation of family.
Yep. And what a great way to carry on the legacy that they've created for us. Are they worth learning to make?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's worth the time.
Well, there you go, guys. That's the protein biscuits, the Carnivore Biscuits 2.0 version with my big brother Brandon and, of course, the beautiful Ash Taylor. You guys have got to go make this recipe, and I hope that maybe it brings back as much nostalgia for you for a memory as it does for each of us. Major shout out to Typhur for the Typhur Sync Oven. It sits on your countertop and it does an amazing job. So that link is down below. It's not just about baking biscuits, it air fries and it roasts and it broils and it does all of these different presets with the little sync thermometer. It is an amazing piece of gear that makes cooking like this just a little bit easier. So this is Chris Cook in Nashville, my beautiful wife Ash Taylor, and my big brother Brandon, who we love very much. You guys eat your meat, especially when it's on top of a protein biscuit just like this. Love your life, and I'll see you here in the kitchen for who knows what other kinds of crazy nostalgia-based recipes. And if you like biscuits like this, go check out this video right over here. Ash is behind the camera right now, but if she would like to come over here.
A little better than Nana's.
A lot better than Nana. Sorry, Nana.
The pepper, I'm not kidding you.
Oh,
perfect. It makes it a country gravy.